Coming to you from Hilbert College, it is the podcast Running Wild. My name is Gabriel. A lot has happened since we've gone on break, so let's jump right into it with our NFL crew. We're back! It's a new year. I'm joined in studio by Anthony Pelicano, Curtis Maloney, and Travis Hicks. Welcome.
Thanks for having us back.
A lot has happened since we were last on the air.
A lot has happened.
Where do we even start?
In my opinion, Alabama.
It's been the year of, I'm going to call it upsets, of the favorites going down.
It has.
The Warriors up 3-1. The Indians, they were up 3-1. Alabama, king of college football, loses to Clemson.
About time.
Finally, yeah.
What were your thoughts on the game? Our college football expert, Travis Hicks.
Something really opened my eyes during that game, Gabriel.
What, Travis?
The genius of Dabo Swinney's defense. I realized it in the Ohio State game. I said, wow, they played a great game, obviously shutting out one of the best teams in college football.
Right.
I said, Nick Saban's a different beast.
Right, I thought that was more about Ohio State being young.
Exactly. So I assume Nick Saban, not saying that it's his fault by any stretch of the imagination, because everything that happened with Lane Kiffin, that distraction and a half, was unexcusable in my mind.
Right.
But I thought they would have had a better game plan than putting an 18-year-old quarterback just out there and saying, do your thing.
Good luck.
Yeah, that is why they lost that game.
For me, it was when Bo Scarborough went down, because Alabama, if they just pick up a couple first downs, they run out the clock, game over. And then you rely on Jalen Hurts.
I agree. But my thing was, the entire Alabama offense was just dependent on Bo Scarborough for no reason. They did not use him other than the second half until that game against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He never even got a snap, really, in the first half of any game all year until Washington. So why did they depend so much on him after that game when the other guys were getting it done all year?
Feed a hot player, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but your other guys did it all year. Why can't they do it now? I understand Clemson's defense is a lot better, but still.
So we're second questioning. The thing to me is this was very unlike Nick Saban. Was it not?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was credit to Dabo Swinney, though.
Mm-hmm. So Travis, Clemson, well-deserved college champion of football.
Yeah, they deserved it. They won. Good for them.
It was a fun game to watch.
It was one of the best national championship games in a long time.
And if Alabama comes up with a stop on that last drive, then we're talking about how great Jalen Hurts played it.
Yeah, exactly. It could go either way. Deshaun Watson really played well as well, so let's give some credit to him.
Moving on. This part I like to call Bill's season in review.
Do we really have to talk about this game?
Oh, I've been waiting. I predicted 9-7, 10-6 at the beginning of the season. Well, I got it too in reverse. What were your thoughts overall on the season?
I mean, if we didn't have LaShawn McCoy, we might have fought for the Browns for the number one pick.
Agreed.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Started out okay. What did we start out? 0-2, and then we 4-2 straight.
Mm-hmm.
It's not where you thought the season was going to go either.
No.
We lose the games good teams need to win. And it started off week 1 against Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
We needed to win that game.
We needed to win the first two.
Exactly. Let alone the next two, the Patriots and the Cardinals, who the Cardinals ended up being not that good this
Beginning
year.
of the season, they were a Super Bowl contender.
Right, exactly. So, but you got to win those games. And even the close games that we lost, or letting Jay Ajayi run for 200 twice. It's unexcusable.
Do you feel like the Bills played to the level of competition all season?
Be hard to disagree with that.
Yeah.
They won games against teams that were worse than them and got embarrassed by teams that were a lot better than them.
Okay.
The only two games that you can disagree with that are the San Francisco 49ers and the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
We,
Right,
them
yeah.
out. We were a better team, but they're so bad.
Right.
If we
yeah.
played down to their level, we had bigger issues. So.
Right. You just dropped important games. There were costly penalties during those important games. There were just bad play during important games that playoff team has to make. So Rex Ryan's out the door now.
Thank God.
We've been calling for his head for a while here at the Run Wild Podcast. Shout out Run Wild Podcast. So now the Bills have hired Sean McDermott, defensive coordinator of Carolina Panthers. What do you guys think of that hiring?
I like it, Gabe. He had a great defense when he was at Carolina. I mean, he went to a Super Bowl with the Panthers. And,
Mostly because of the defense.
Yeah. And he seems like a guy, from what I can see, Gabe, that is disciplined. He's not going to let his players do what he wants. And the problem with Rex was, when we're taking 20 penalties a game leading the NFL, I mean, it's hard to come out of a game when you have that many penalties against your team. So I'm hoping that this new coach is disciplined and teaches the players otherwise. But again, at the same time, you can't blame the coach for all that because these guys are old men. They know what they're doing.
Right, it's on both parties, right?
I think it's hard to say that Rex didn't get the job done because it was only 2 years. People need a few more years to do things, but we have bigger issues than building a team and, we were just a few years away. We have a lot bigger issues than that, so I felt that this was necessary, and Sean McDermott hopefully will bring a new light. I think Shady McCoy and Sammy Watkins already touched on it. That'll be more disciplined, just like you said, so hopefully the future is bright.
I would personally like to see an offensive coordinator be the head coach for the Bills because the Bills have a great defense already. They on the offense.
How do we prove that this year, Gabe?
Great used loosely.
They have great. Okay, let me rephrase. They have great personnel. Rex Ryan managed to mess up that with defense being his specialty.
I don't think it was more of hiring a defensive guy. I think it was hiring more of a disciplined.
All right,
guy.
that's fair. That's fair. So that's why I say I think it's a good hire. They better get a great offensive coordinator or something. What, Travis?
I agree, but don't say that we had a good defense when there were 5 or so 200 games this year, 200 yard rushing games, and 3 of them were against the Bills.
Right.
Please don't say that we had a good defense.
You guys have a great defensive front seven. Your corners are bad. I'll give you that. But the defense definitely underperformed this year.
Underperformed, I believe, is the correct word.
Right. So, okay, I should say there's potential for greatness. My question to you now, do we move on from Tyrod Taylor?
Please.
Who, besides trading for another quarterback, who could we get?
Is Tyrod Taylor going to win us a Super Bowl? Yes or no?
It doesn't
Yes or
matter.
no?
He has a better chance of getting us to the playoffs than any available quarterback.
I would rather miss the playoffs for another 5 years. Okay, hear me out. You're going to think I'm crazy. I would rather miss the
I already
playoffs.
do.
I would rather miss the playoffs for another 5 years and do it right to build a contender for the Super Bowl than keep a mediocre guy to try to get the wild card spot in a playoff game to lose to a way better team that we should not be on the field against. It's just like the Miami Dolphins.
Then who are we going to get at quarterback?
I don't know, but
Exactly.
maybe we will figure it out. You got to trust the process. We have to get out of this 8.
Trust the process. It's been 17 years.
We haven't done it right once. We've been going
Yeah.
8-8. We're not trusting the process. We never got the number 1 pick. We never even got a top 5 pick. We need to trust the process. Do it the right way. If you would have bet on the odds to not make the playoffs for 17 years, it was like $1 in $2 million. Like, it's insane.
I mean, he's
Do
the
it
best.
the right way.
He's-
Don't.
You pick the best available players. That'll get you a chance to win.
Get rid of EJ, keep Tyrod.
Get rid-
EJ's already gone. His contract's done.
We might have to stick with Tyrod for a few more years. Get him a new deal. Hopefully, he can pass his physical, so we don't have to pay him.
Is the Romo thing still on the table? Or?
Yes, it is. Breaking this morning, Adam Schefter says Cowboys' #1 offseason priority is to get rid of Tony Romo. Bills are near the top of that list.
I'd like that, Gabe. I don't know if these two agree, but I'd like that. If we get rid of Tyrod, we bring in Romo. We keep Cardell, but Cardell is getting great training from Tony Romo. He's going to learn how to do the things correctly. He's not going to learn how to
Right.
scramble around the pocket all the time, not release the ball on time, go late, throw it out of bounds when you could just you should throw it out of bounds instead of trying to rush up the field for 2 yards and get smashed. Romo
Right.
will teach him the correct things, I believe. Romo will probably only get 1 to 2 good years out of. Our offensive line really has to protect him because he can't take a hit, but I think the training in the end is going to make Cardell a serious threat.
So you're hoping that what he did with Dak, he can do then with
Yes.
Cardell.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the credit with Dak was Mark Sanchez, but that's for a different discussion.
You mean Sanchez has more credit?
What are you talking about? Have you ever
Sanchez-
seen when they show it? As soon as Dak comes off the field, he goes
Sanchez,
right to
he goes to
He
Sanchez.
doesn't go to Romo.
I'll be totally honest, I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez has a lot of influence.
Sanchez,
Buffalo
you know
signed
those,
Mark
you know those
Sanchez.
iPads or those Microsoft
Yeah,
things.
the
He
Microsoft
literally,
Surface.
he literally sits there and just draws stuff on it the entire
Mark
game
Sanchez
and
gets
just
a
shows
lot
it.
of
Yeah,
credit.
Then why don't we sign Mark Sanchez?
because he can't
Because he
play.
can't physically do it.
He knows
He's
what
one of those
he- yeah.
guys up here.
We gotta
It's
figure
like
it
a
out.
Fitzpatrick almost. I don't even know if
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick.
I'm
No.
just giving way too much credit to Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, yeah, that is.
All
That
right.
type of guy.
Breaking news in Run Wild Podcast Studio. Mark Sanchez is hired as the offensive coordinator for the Bills. Do you buy it?
Done. Love it.
I would take him as a quarterback coach, not offensive
All right,
coordinator.
fair enough. Look at us making moves for the Cagulas.
I think most of Dak's credit has to go to Ezekiel Elliott.
And the
Yeah.
O-line.
that too.
I just think we need a leader on this team. And I'm not seeing a face right now that's leading. Since Freddie Jackson's been gone, I don't see a true leader on that Buffalo Bills team. And I don't think anybody can argue that. He was the best leader we had, and I think Romo would be a hell of a leader for 2 years.
All right, that's not a bad argument.
If we can get him for cheap. I'm not
Travis,
saying
It-
pay
Yeah, you don't wanna
We're
pay
not
the
going to
price.
get him for cheap.
See, if we got to pay my head over heels, then I don't know. It's whatever the Pagulas are feeling at that time. I
Right.
guess.
So Travis,
So Gabriel.
is Cardell Jones a long-term future? Is that trusting the process enough for you?
I'm not saying he is the future, but I'm saying he has the potential to go to 5 Pro Bowls in a row and potentially win a Super Bowl.
I'll agree and say he's not better. He's not potentially the future, but he's gonna be better than the past by far.
So I have a feeling someone in studio would like to discuss the past game, Cowboys versus the Packers. So Travis,
So Gabriel.
who was the most impressive on the field?
Aaron Rodgers. He is the best quarterback in the league and the best competitor in the league, and he knows how to win games. Aaron Rodgers made a case that he is the most clutch quarterback in NFL history.
No, disagree.
TB12.
Yep.
Tom Brady.
I'll take Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers any day.
Aaron Rodgers can make chicken salad out of chicken shit. That guy knows how to create plays.
You're gonna say that he has Jordan Nelson and Randall Cobb. Who's Tom Brady throwing the ball to? Chris Hogan? He makes Chris Hogan look like a star. At the Bills, he was a bum.
Pro
And now he's a
We-
star.
Because the Bills had no one to throw him the ball.
I could put you in a full set of pads right now and put you on the Patriots. I bet you'd actually look decent. And I know you can't catch. When it's sitting in your arms when you make a run,
Whoa.
it's that easy.
True.
I'd have to.
If Jordan Nelson played for the Patriots, he'd be even better. Brady does some unreal things. I'm not saying it. I'm saying it's a super close race between those two, but I think I'm taking Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers.
All right, here's the distinction. Aaron Rodgers is more talented. He can do more throws than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady, outside of the football field, on the football field, pre-snap, just executing, you don't get the ebb and flow. I'm taking Tom Brady for those reasons.
I agree with that. But Aaron Rodgers is incredible.
I got.
Good point, Travis.
How many Super Bowl rings does Aaron Rodgers
It
have?
doesn't matter. He doesn't have the team. He doesn't have.
Ooh.
Brady has
Yeah, that's
Belichick.
Brady.
Brady has Belichick.
We don't know who Brady's receivers are week in and week out. They
Brady
just find somebody from the
has
practice squad.
Belichick.
Yeah, I can't name a good Patriots
Aaron
wide receiver in the past
Rodgers
5 years.
has Mike McCarthy. Nothing against Mike McCarthy. He's a great NFL coach. I would love for the Bills to sign him. But it's like having Nick Saban. Bill Belichick knows the ins and outs.
Or Dabo Sweeney.
Or Dabo Sweeney.
So you're saying it's better to have a better coach than a better player, essentially.
I'm saying if we're talking about a Lamborghini and a Bugatti, and you could have a supermodel as your girlfriend, or an average Joe as your girlfriend, you're going to go with the supermodel, the Belichick, and then you can pick either car you want because it doesn't matter.
I don't get that metaphor at all.
Would you like a second take at that metaphor?
I mean, what do you think? Aaron Rodgers had Brett Favre to mentor him, and Tom Brady had Drew Bledsoe, both when they were at their prime. So They're about the same in that aspect that they had somebody teaching.
Right.
Except Favre was better because he wore Wrangler jeans.
Wrangler jeans is always a plus.
Thank you.
That
Nice
gets
and
you
snug.
over the edge.
Snug.
Right. That's comfortable.
Aaron Rodgers makes a lot more appealing plays to fans, but Tom Brady gets it done more.
Right.
It's
I
not as flashy as
But
Aaron
At
Rodgers.
the start of the year, though, we were all talking about
Aaron Rodgers.
where's Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
going on? And now that he wants to turn it on, people will say, "Oh, give him the MVP." Brady missed the first 4 weeks and came back looking better than any quarterback in the NFL. He
Aaron
is the smart
Rodgers.
MVP choice.
Has not had a running back ever in the NFL. He's never been able to confidently
Eddie Lacy
hand
was
off the-
super hot like 4 years ago. Eddie Lacy was Pro Bowl, so I don't know what you're saying. Eddie
Aaron
Lacy's in the
Rodgers
Pro Bowl.
has never been able to just hand off the ball and trust that maybe that guy's going to get a first
Tom
down.
Brady usually hasn't either.
Yeah,
How
this is
many
the first
touchdowns
year
did
we've had that
LeGarrette
Patriots.
Blount have this
How many of them are
This is
inside
the
5
first year,
yards?
It drives them up to the 98-yard line, hands it up to Blunt.
That's still
How
a
did they
stupid
possibly
argument.
score that?
That's still a stupid
How many
argument.
touchdowns did Blount have against Houston?
It doesn't matter.
None. He didn't play because they didn't need him.
Yeah, exactly. Because Tom Brady threw all over them.
It was Houston, and he struggled. He almost
They have the
lost.
best defense in the league.
I
Yeah.
still don't understand.
You know who
what
has a
you're
better
saying.
defense? The Patriots compared to the Green Bay. Green Bay's defense is horrible. He's the most clutch quarterback in the NFL.
We'll find out.
Find out.
Well, he's playing Atlanta. The highest.
They have one of the
Besides,
worst
I mean,
defenses.
That leads us to the upcoming previews of the game. Atlanta versus Green Bay. Who do you think wins that, Travis?
Atlanta.
Wow.
Green Bay does not have the deep. Who's going to guard Julio Jones?
Right. So I think it's going to be a shootout.
Who on Atlanta's defense is going to cover Randall Cobb or anybody else? There are a bunch of traffic cones out there. They've let up a
Atlanta's
touchdown.
defense is better than Green Bay's defense.
Remember when we were watching the game the other day?
I think running backs
Atlanta
will take
lets up
over.
a touchdown 73% of the time that the offense is in the end zone. Or the red zone.
Atlanta's got running backs, Green Bay doesn't. I think that kind of seals the deal for me.
Atlanta wins.
Easily.
And Matt Ryan, I like.
MVP. You guys doubted me.
I'm still going.
You were the first on that Matt Ryan bandwagon from our first
Can't
pod. Yeah.
I'm still taking Brady.
I said Brady, but Matt Ryan is going to win it.
Let's move on. Patriots play the Steelers. Now after AB's Facebook stream, what do you think happens?
Not a thing
What do you want
until
to happen?
after the playoffs.
Not a thing till after the playoffs, besides maybe a hit to his credit card.
Yep. Or his paycheck.
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, or just his paycheck. He might just,
Yeah, fair. They're not going to suspend him over this.
Oh,
Obviously,
God,
yeah,
no.
They can't. They
No.
can't. No. But you have to admit, it was really clumsy of him and highly irresponsible of him because it's a live Facebook stream, so you can't edit that.
Right.
So
And
they
he-
lucked out that they just called the Patriots a bunch of a-holes. But it could have been something tactical. It could have been something more important than that. They lucked out.
who knows what Mike Tomlin was going to say in that locker room after a huge playoff win to secure the spot in the AFC Championship game. Like, you have no idea what he was going to say.
Right.
So, I don't think Antonio Brown intentionally was doing anything to hurt his team or to offend his coach. I think he
No,
just
he was just
spaced
being irresponsible.
and he was caught up in the win.
Yeah.
But he can't do that. And I think Tomlin and AB have a good enough relationship that it won't be that big a deal.
Here's the thing I think people are underestimating, though. I have a feeling part of that video is going to be played on a loop in Foxborough this whole week as extra motivation for the Patriots. Yes or no?
I couldn't see why not.
If you need motivation to play in an AFC title game,
Then
then
you
you
shouldn't be playing
Yeah,
that.
all right,
that's fair. All right, that's fair. All right, so then who do we like, Pittsburgh or the Patriots?
I like Pittsburgh.
I like the Patriots, Belichick, Brady.
I think Pittsburgh is my Super Bowl champion these days.
Are you writing them?
And you know what hurts me the most? I think these are the two best teams left in football. And it's just sad that they got to play each
Yeah.
other now.
Overall, not.
Overall. I think whoever wins this
Whoever
matchup,
wins this game wins the Super Bowl.
Who-
I was giving
100%.
Kurt a look there, just so you guys know.
whoever wins this game in my mind wins the Super Bowl. 100%. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Travis, you look like you're about to fight
The
someone.
best two defenses are in this game.
Our TV audience can see that look in your eye.
I think the AFC will be the favorite in the Super Bowl, but I think the Patriots are going to win. You guys both said Pittsburgh. I think Bill Belichick will have a plan for either Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell. I don't know which one, but he will have a plan for one of them to not eliminate them because they are too good of players to eliminate, but they will not be able to hand the ball to Le'Veon Bell or throw the ball the entire time for one drive like they have been doing the past 2 games. They just relied on those 2 guys for an entire drive, and they won't be able to do that against the Patriots. So they're going to have to figure something else out. So I think Belichick will have a plan in place.
Here's my gut feeling. I think they're going to try to stop the run, contain Big Ben's, contain Bell, set the edge, maybe stack the box, maybe, and just keep Butler on Brown. They know Brown's going to get it. He's going to get his. He's going to get his. But they're going to. I think they're going to try to force Big Ben to throw it, and then hope that the pass rush can get there. Patriots are going to win this game.
If the Steelers play anything like they played last week, they're going to get smoked. If they would have been playing the Patriots last week with the stupid throws that Ben was doing, with the stupid play calls, the do what's working, they gave up 3 touchdowns. That game could have 21 points in the first 3 drives.
Right.
4th and 1, you have the best running back in the league. Go for it.
In fairness, both teams played pretty poorly last week.
It was a bad game, yes, until the end.
Right.
I think if it comes down to a shootout, I think the Patriots will take it. I do like the Steelers. I want the Steelers. But if it comes down to it close in the end with like 4 minutes left, I think Brady's got the clutch gene that Big Ben does not have in him.
While we were gone, OBJ got caught with his shirt off, possibly with blood in the picture down in Miami. What were your thoughts on that? Then he has a bad game.
I don't think a professional athlete can be blamed for having a bad game because of that. They had an off day. They can do whatever they want. They're a professional athlete. That one day of practice, I don't think it's going to make or break it for him. So OBJ, being in his first playoff game, I think he got caught up in his emotions. People are saying that he should get in trouble or that it was irresponsible and that he can't keep throwing those fits. All I see is a guy who wants to win. He was mad at himself for not catching that ball. I would take a guy like OBJ, a competitor like that, any day of the week. He's a good player who just wants himself to play better. Do I blame it on going to Miami? No. He's a professional athlete. We all know he can catch the ball. He wasn't there mentally, whether he was nervous or whatever he had going on. He had to figure it out. And I think that's what we saw with Travis Kelce. A lot of people are calling at him. I mean, obviously, that penalty is unexcusable. You cannot take a penalty in that crucial part of a game like that. But I think he's just a guy who cares. They care. They just need to keep their emotions in check. But I think that'll make them a better player.
You done?
In the long run.
Yeah,
I'm ready to rip you apart. Odell, yeah, I understand, the punch in the wall. Okay, yeah, you're upset, you lost the game. But you're gonna be there the week of your game on a Tuesday, when you got a game that weekend, and you're gonna have a blunt anywhere in that picture. First off, you're in the NFL. Take it seriously. I know you just want your paychecks in the NFL. You think it's no big deal. I'm just gonna get paid and do what I want to do. And number 2, you should be an inspiration for these young kids that are watching football, and you're gonna have a picture of a blunt, and I don't understand why it's stupid. He's stupid. I get that they lost, but do I think that picture has any reason to be why he played bad? No, he's probably nervous or something. But the whole bigger picture here is, why are you not at practice, and why do you have a blunt in a picture?
They didn't have practice. He didn't miss anything.
Doesn't matter. He still should be
Watch some film,
watching
do something.
film, extra stuff.
Sorry, you don't got
It's
class. You don't got class today, Trev. So you're just gonna sit in your room and smoke a blunt, or is that what we're gonna do? No, you take your job seriously. You're here. You take it serious. You do what you have to do. You're an RA. People look up to you. Take it seriously. You're not a joke.
I see where you're coming from.
And to Kurt's point, he said, role models for kids. Are you anti-kids, Travis?
I'm not anti-kids.
We're gonna post that around the school. Try to take anti-kids. But Odell, man, take your job serious. Be a little disciplined. If I was the coach, I'd take care of that real quick.
If I was OBJ, clearly he can't catch a ball in cold weather. I would be outside catching balls during practice, not inside facility. He looked like he shouldn't even be playing for the Bills that game. He couldn't even catch easy passes.
That's
He's
saying
up.
something.
Did you just say a top 3
Yeah,
receiver?
after that game.
A top 3 receiver in the NFL you just said shouldn't have been on the field. Did I shouldn't be in the league. Did I hear that
I
right?
said he should
Be
on-
playing for the
he
Bills.
He should be playing for the Bills the way he looked that game. That's what I said.
So he shouldn't be in the league, is what you're
There's
saying.
an open spot for the Browns.
Heck yeah, Gabe, let's join up.
I hear they have open tryouts this year.
In my opinion, I would have had a bigger problem with the going to Miami thing if they didn't make the playoffs. Because then it looks like they
You
don't.
are crazy.
That doesn't even
make any
officially
sense.
Then
crazy.
it looks like they don't care. They're happy the season's over. They're going to Miami. They're enjoying life. Like,
That's
cool.
what you do.
That's
when
what you do after the off season.
It would show that they didn't care. So I had no.
No, you are wrong, objectively wrong about this. Here's the thing, Travis. Can you have a little discipline? Just 1 week. Can you just be focused in? This is your first playoff appearance, and you're going to Miami. Did it have an effect on the game? No, but
You're saying it did.
can you just have the discipline? Can you be all in mentally for 1 week? That's all we're asking out of you. If you win, then it's another week. The
You
cold
lose, you do
weather.
whatever you
The
want.
cold weather had more to do with it than the Miami trip. I agree with you. He dropped his first one, and it went downhill from there.
Instead of going Miami, come to Buffalo. You know, get a few catches for the weekend. Instead, you're sitting in Miami with.
Can you have the self-discipline?
Let's not kid ourselves and say that Eli Manning had a great game and was just throwing dimes to OBJ because he wasn't. Eli Manning played horribly.
No, but
he
he's
really
probably-
showed his age.
He was probably reading the books though. He's probably at home looking stuff up, trying
You
to make
open
sure
yourself to
he's-
criticism by going to Miami and posing for the picture.
100% he opened himself to criticism, but I don't think that affected the game.
Oh no, I don't think so. I just think he's a piece of garbage.
I think it affected him mentally. He was not mentally there.
It's a bad look for, and it shows that you're not all in. It shows that you're a little selfish. You're a little more about you than the team.
Do I think it changed the game completely? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you need to be focused a lot more than sitting in Miami.
For your first playoff appearance.
Go celebrate if you win.
He's on a contract year next year.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership's not there for him.
If you have the number one pick in your fantasy league, take OBJ next year.
Give him the number one pick in your fantasy.
If you don't take Antonio Brown,
No,
please
Le'Veon
get out.
Bell. Le'Veon Bell.
Or Deshaun Watson.
the guy will not start this year unless he goes top 5. He'll not start.
To the Browns.
You never know. They've done
Love Odell, but he seems to be in more drama than any player in the NFL.
easily most rattled player in the NFL.
He's so talented, though. That's the thing. He's so talented, but I wouldn't want him on my team.
Are you
just
talented
because
with
of,
no cool head? If you were a quarterback, Josh Norman's got it right. Get him so mad.
right. That's what I'm
that
saying.
he
He's
can't
so
even
talented.
function.
If he gets that off the field stuff, he could easily be one of the greatest all times.
100%.
Or if he just leaves the Giants.
Yeah,
Thanks for the Bills.
what's our player? Who is our player that's going to heat up this week?
Brady. He's just clutch, you know. If he doesn't show up this week, I think it's going to get real bad over in Foxborough. If he shows up, we got a game on our hands, which it's Brady. He's going to show up, but how much can he do is the question this week.
Mine is Julio Jones. The Green Bay defense can't really cover anybody. He's going to have at least a 150-yard game. I don't want to hear this ridiculous pick, do I?
I don't have a ridiculous pick. My guy is Tevin Coleman, the backup running back for the Atlanta Falcons. I think
You
is
can't really
going
call him back.
to have a day. Yeah, they split time now.
Yeah, I like that.
He's gonna have a day.
It's a good pick, Trav. I agree with that. That's the first thing I've liked this whole
Whole podcast today, yeah.
Travis, way to come in at the end. I'm proud of you.
Tony Romo plays against the Green Bay Packers last week. They win.
Now you're just saying that to stir the pot.
Yeah.
Tony Romo plays last week. They win. They win that game.
Come on.
10 out of 10 times.
Keep it professional. You're on a podcast.
He would have thrown the
Sir.
ball all over that Green Bay defense, which Dak couldn't. So yes,
That's why the Bills are getting him, Trav. You better be happy.
Tony
Better be
Romo.
first
Tony
one.
Romo plays. They
You better
win.
be the first one in line at the Bill store to buy one.
I will.
Signs.
I
Oh,
will.
I'd buy a jersey.
Ignoring that verbal diarrhea, my player to watch is James Harrison. Can he get to Tom Brady? If that defense can shut down Tom Brady, Pittsburgh has a really good chance.
See, Gabe, this is why you run the podcast.
That was a great pick.
Thank you.
I picked Tom Brady, but you know, I'm gonna add a different thing to this game. Last time when he played Houston, whew, anybody see that block he laid down? If you didn't see that, he's got a I don't see Aaron Rodgers throwing blocks like Tom Brady. End the podcast. No.
Mic drop.
Block that he laid.
It's with Anthony Pelicano, Curtis Maloney, and Travis Hicks. Guys, thanks for stopping by again.
Thanks, Gabe.
Well, I can't follow up that mic drop by Curtis Maloney. I want to thank the NFL crew again for coming on to the pod. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at RunWild Podcast, like our Facebook page, RunWild Podcast, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, you have been wasting your time listening to the podcast Running Wild. Thank you for listening.